We'll get going and get started here in just a few minutes, just as soon as we just give everybody a chance to kind of get in. I know there are people that join us late, and they're always asking, "Oh, what did I miss?" But I'm trying to give the notifications a chance to go out if they are indeed going out. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So let's just see how it all plays out. I'm also in the process of trying to load my graphics into the system here as well. So we'll get going here in just a few minutes, y'all. So don't go away. And if you say you don't hear any sound, just give me a minute. Like I say, I'm not really talking right now. I'm just doing some work here to try to get this thing up and going. Let's see if that works. And it did. Okay. Well, looks like we got a nice little audience that's showing up here tonight. So I'm excited about that. So I get the chance to give you guys the good information here, not the bad stuff that's been floating around out there all day long. So, but that's just the way, that's just the way it's going to be when we have severe weather. We're just going to have to deal with the bad stuff. You have to just root it out and just come to the good stuff and get the good information here. So let's talk about what's going on weather-wise. And I will be honest with you, there is nothing that has changed. Everything is still on schedule. Everything is developing exactly like we thought it would. There are no big it'll get bigger in just a second there, Brian. Just give it a second. There are no big changes to the forecast. Everything is the same as I was thinking earlier tonight here. So just bear with me for just a moment. I'm going to check something real fast, see if we got any new. I know a watch is getting ready to come out. I don't know if one has been issued yet. It has not yet anyway. But I do know that a tornado watch will be issued for the area here pretty soon. And we'll get to everything here in just a moment. I'm trying to get signed into my the National Weather Service Instant Messenger so we can have a nice line of communication with them as well here. So I'm just checking everything, making sure there's nothing that's been updated here. Tornado watch coming soon. We already knew that. It could come at any time now. So, but that's not what we're not focused on just that at this moment in time here. So let's go in and talk about the weather setup here. And I'll try to answer you guys the best that I can here, okay? All right, so here is this particular graphic here. And I'm going to have to make some changes. Give me just a second here. I'm trying to maneuver this here. So, all right. All right. All right, there we go. All right, so let me make sure. For whatever reason, it still isn't working. So give me a second. There we go. It's working now, I think. Hello, hello, hello. One, two, one, two. All right. So give me a second. There we go. It's working now, I think. Hello, hello, hello. 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right. All right. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Tell me, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So, yes, I do think Wichita Falls will be in the tornado watch. Yes, there's no think about it that we will be in a tornado watch here pretty soon. So, all right. So, as long as you guys can hear me, we will get going here in just a moment here. So, Allie, what did you, what was your question? I don't see what your question was here. I'm looking here. You can barely hear me. All right, let's see if we can figure out why this thing is not any louder. It should be louder than this. Can you hear me any better now? I just turned up the volume as good as I could, so maybe it's better now. Maybe can you hear me now? Can you hear me here? Hello, 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 hello. You guys can barely hear me, you say. So I don't know what's going on with it. Why it's causing it. I see the levels have gone up, so I think you can probably hear me now. Can you hear me now? All right, let's talk about it. All right, so if you look here, I don't know why the sound is low, but it should be better now. I think it's better. It shows the levels are better. Okay. All right, so let's try this. All right, so I'm going to walk over to the wall here, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with this here event. All right, so if you take a look, this has not changed. This is the same graphic that I made earlier. The SAB actually made it when it first came into work. I haven't changed this at all. Our thunderstorms are developing right along the very far western edge of this now here. So they're kind of developing up into here right now, the northwest and west central part of Oklahoma. and then we'll see other storms fire up further to the south here soon. And then we're going to expect another area of storms to develop kind of down to the southwest of us here, and that'll lift kind of northward here overnight tonight. So we're still looking at this line of storms, but it's going to kind of come together in two phases. We'll have one line kind of developing from the north down to the south, and another line that will develop from the south and develop and kind of connect with the line to the north, somewhere near just east of Wichita Falls. Our main concern with these thunderstorms remains the same. I'm not changing anything here. It looks like most of what we're going to see will be heavy downpours. At least initially, hail threats are the largest out west here. But as the storms move east, the hail, mostly smaller hail, some gusty winds, and maybe some embedded tornadoes, little spin-up type tornadoes, mostly over here in this red shaded area here. That's our greatest threat for those little weak spin-ups. They're calling them little spin-ups. It's called QLCS. Means quasi-linear. Means it's not a straight line. It's a line, but it's kind of wavy. And then the kinks in those lines, you can get these little spin-ups. They usually are quick, brief, and don't usually last very long. So the threat for severe weather will be between now and let's say about 11 or 12, about 11 o'clock or so out west. And then after we get to about midnight or so, it's going to shift to the east there. I would expect, as of right now, about 1, 2 a.m. maybe here in the falls here. There's our storm system, and look at it blowing up. There's your storms quickly developing here across the northwestern parts of Oklahoma. That's that spin. You're finally getting that upper air disturbance. The upper level energy is beginning to catch up to the dry line now. So you see storms, and look how fast they develop into a line here. Now, if this were a situation where we had these individual supercells forming, I'd be a lot more concerned about this. But since it's a line, all the energy in the line, the storms are spread out, so that usually means they just produce a lot of strong winds in one direction. But again, there will be some instances where the little kinks may try to spin a little bit. I think that these storms, at least initially, are what we call elevated. That means that the Earth's surface is a little bit cooler than the air above it here. So I think these storms are based perhaps maybe a little bit higher in the atmosphere. But yeah, tornado watch will be issued for this area here really, really soon. And as the dry line continues to move eastward, additional storms will develop down to the south. And again, another piece of energy rounding on the south side of the storm system here will also generate another area of storms down to the south that will lift north. This hasn't changed. Everything's in place. We got really good ingredients as far as the storm itself. You know, you got a lot of uplift with the thunderstorm, with the main storm system. You got a lot of strong winds associated with the storm system, a lot of wind energy here. But the instability is lacking here a bit, at least right now. After midnight, it may go up a little bit, but by that time, everything is just one big line of thunderstorms here. And by that, I mean a lot of the energy, the storm energy, might be just above the Earth's surface here. So that has a tendency to lessen the tornado threat and kind of increase the wind threat a little bit, if you will, here. But again, we have a lot of ingredients, and if we were to see a little bit better instability here, then we might have to worry about something a little bit here overnight. I continue with a low to moderate low wind threat for tornadoes in that line. Hail is mostly going to be small in that line. Initially, maybe a little larger out west here. But our main concern, moderate end with high winds with that line of thunderstorms moving east. This is significant tornado parameter, and this would indicate areas that would see maybe an atmosphere that would be favorable for tornadoes if we had supercell thunderstorms. Even a line, though, can still sometimes feed off of this, but there again, it isn't able to concentrate that energy all in one level. It's kind of spread out here. So the tendency is for the tornadoes in these types of situations to be a lot quicker and a lot more brief. Here you go, but 11 a.m. to midnight, you have it, but look at how they go down. The numbers go down a bit. So, I mean, even the latest runs of the SIG tornado parameters are not as impressive as they were earlier. So that's a bit of a downtrend. That certainly does continue. Now, here's the high-resolution future tracker. This is the HRRR, and you can see the wave. Here's your line. We call it quasi-linear. It's a line of thunderstorms, but it's not a straight line. You got little breaks and little kinks in here. Again, some of this might initially produce some hail here, and maybe some areas of some gusty winds. So there's your line developing through about 11:30 or so. Now, here comes another little piece of energy, and you can see it developing all the way back to the southwest, and some storms trying to develop down near Haskell. Now, here comes that second wave of storms I was talking about, trying to develop from the south. This will be about 1:30. There's your main line of storms, Lawton down to about Wichita Falls, and then you can see how both of these areas kind of come together. The good news is you don't see supercells here. You see just a large area of thunderstorms, and probably what you're going to see here is there will be a couple of these storms that will bow out. That means in the lines, you'll get the waviness, and one side of it will bow out a little bit, and that'll may increase your strong wind gusts. One signal I've been watching is there's a pretty decent signature for a storm down near Graham that kind of lifts up into the Jacksboro area and kind of Bowie area overnight, and that might indicate a bit of an increase in chance for some strong winds in that, and or maybe some weak spin-ups here. So out ahead of it, you get the winds are out of the south, southeast here. Behind it, you get straight winds out of the west, and it's that quick change that can lead to those little spin-ups here. And if you're watching down in the Metroplex, it still looks like in the wee hours of the morning that line moves through your area, but it looks like to me that most of what you're going to see down that way is wind and rain. The QLCS, or the little weak tornado threat, will be pretty low down in that area as well. So what should you do? Well, again, that's what I was saying earlier. Just make sure you have multiple ways to get warnings here. I suggest to download the First Alert 6 weather app, and you can go in there. Once you download it, just look for First Alert 6 weather app, and you'll see it. You'll see the gray, and you'll see the little red 6 on there. So you download that, and then once you download it, there's some little buttons, the 3 little bars at the top of it. You click it, and then you can choose your location. Just have it where you're located at, and then turn on the notifications and make sure your sound is on. So you'll get warnings. It'll alert you when a warning's issued for your area here, wherever you are here. Another good thing is to turn those NOAA weather radios on alert. That will alert you. But if you do have one of those, get ready for a lot of the loud beeping noises and alarms to go off with a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings coming over the next several hours here. And also, make sure you follow these good, reliable sources. Don't believe everything you see out there. There was a post, and I have it on my Facebook page, talking about how this was a dangerous situation tonight. I don't think it's a dangerous situation. To me, it's just a line of thunderstorms. We see these things all the time here, especially this time of the year. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Just wind, and again, embedded circulations within that, and usually these are more the weaker variety. This individual said it was going to be supercells. And my thoughts on that are, I think what happens is you got weather enthusiasts out there that want to see this stuff happen. They get excited about it, so I think they kind of make it up in their head a bit. I think that's also, it didn't all for clicks. I think a lot of them just kind of make it up, because this is clearly not a supercell situation. All the ingredients with this storm area is being lifted up all in the same place in one area, and that's making it kind of just thunderstorms developing all over, in one spot there, and it makes it or lined out, stretched out there. So that's what we're mostly looking at here tonight. So just be careful about what you believe over there. So I'm going to walk back over here and turn this back on here. All right. So Weatherman Cam is back behind me, and Cameron, you're going to be you're heading out the tracker here in just a moment, right? Whenever I tell you to go. But, our plan with the tracker here overnight is we got Cameron just kind of playing it by ear. I'm not going to send him out until we kind of have an idea where we want to go. When you're dealing with these lines of storms, it's not like you can pinpoint a place and some supercells to go chase. It's just, it's chasing lines of storms is not fun. It's just they're fast moving. Everything is embedded in rain. You're going to have a hard time seeing anything, and if they do, you usually have to develop right on top of you for you to see them. So, and Eric Fox is also out there tonight. He's going to be doing some chasing. Eric, do you want to join me real fast on here? I can send you a link, and you can pop on with me real fast, and we can talk to you about where you're headed to. So, Ryan, Bowie's going to get hammered with some heavy rain and wind, and it's low wind threat for some spin ups. That's what we're expecting here. So,
I don't know if you saw, but Abilene's radar is down.
I saw that, and that's not good. That Abilene couldn't have picked a worse time for
Abilene and San Angelo. San Angelo's not for us, but that whole area as a whole right now.
Yeah, they couldn't have picked a worse time. So, Jaden is leaving, going to his TV station in Denver. I think the NBC station in Denver. So, yeah, he's stepping on up to the big time. So,
tell Cody, come on.
There's no reason in the world for you to have storm anxiety. No, this is not a situation where you should be nervous about any. Listen, if I'm nervous about it, then you should be too.
Oh, is Eric coming up to the station?
He can if he wants to. Come on,
Eric. Get up here.
You can go to bed in Altus. You're going to see some thunderstorms in your area, but I think you'll be fine. I think those storms in Altus are going to be a little elevated, honestly. Small hell here, Stephen. Small hell here.
Just a big wind bag.
Looks like a windbag. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me too. And it may not even be, a lot of times it looks like we're going to get hammered with all this wind, and we don't get, we like 30, 35 mile per hour winds usually. So,
you know what it is, Ken? It's that Wichita Falls dome.
Yep. So Well, I mean, it's not encouragement. I'm just telling you like it is. And those of you in Dallas, again, it'll be early in the morning. It'll be like 4 or 5 a.m. when it gets to you there. And it's just going to be some heavy rain and wind pushing through. You will be fine. Yes, John, you can go to sleep. Go to bed. Just have a way to get, have a way to get warnings just in case. I'm not overly concerned with it. So, Waurika Lake area, some heavy rain and wind pushing through there, probably about 2 a.m. or so. Colson Hayes said he's coming to the house tonight to get in the cellar if there's a tornado. That's probably a good place for him if it's needed there. So I think it's okay, Jetalina. Go to bed. The Kona's looking pretty stormy, but not until probably after about 3 a.m. or so. Graham, some pretty good storms coming down into Young County, probably about 1, 2 a.m. time frame. So
Eric's coming up here.
Okay. Eric Foss going to be coming in. He's going to hang out with us for a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So somebody saw this. A chaser can bear. Listen, those guys can. Listen, I saw somebody the other day on Twitter or X. He was comparing tomorrow's event to April 27th of 2011.
Oh my gosh.
That was a rare, like once in a lifetime type thing. And this situation looks absolutely nothing like that
this
at
looks
all.
Like early March, you get a line of storms with some wind, and maybe get a spin up tornado or two.
I don't even think like East Texas and Mississippi and Louisiana are going to be that. There'll be some tornadoes tomorrow down over there, but I don't think it's going to be that bad.
You don't get if you really want your big time severe weather, you need your isolated supercells, which you don't really have tomorrow.
Yeah, you got to have supercells for all that, and it's going to be a line. They're canceling school over there in Mississippi tomorrow. That's ridiculous. When I was a kid, man, you went to school and you had a tornado warning. You went out in the hall and you put a book over your head, and then when it was done with, you just went back to class and started your work again. I'd be scared. That's what got me scared. I was scared to death when I was a kid. Man, I'd be in school and there'd be a tornado warning be issued in Mississippi there, and we'd go out in the hall and I'd be scared to death. Matter of fact, what got me interested in weather was it was in November. Either November or December, I can't remember. But anyway, we had a tornado. It was the supercell tornado that developed. You could see it about approaching the school. It didn't hit the school. It just missed the school, and it went across the street and damaged the shopping center over there. But that scared me. I was so scared. And we told the teacher we could see it coming across the football field. He said her name was Miss Clark. We said, Miss Clark, there's a tornado coming. Sit down. It's just a thunderstorm. About that time, the building started shaking. You saw stuff flying around. We ran out and got in the hall. I was scared to death. But anyway,
did you know when I was a kid, back when we didn't get much severe weather up there near Chicago, but we did every once in a while get like a line of storms. Concord scene denies what we would get would be our taste of severe weather. And anytime that was coming, I knew. And I always middle school, elementary school, always had the weather radio in my backpack, and I got in trouble because it would go off in the middle of the class. I
used to do the same thing. I'd take it with me and it'd go off and I'd get in trouble. So. But they knew I was up to date on the weather. The football coach used to ask me, and the baseball coach used to always ask me, Ken, what's the weather going to do? They'd ask me, and I'd tell them. So
no microbursts.
Yep, and we would have pizza for lunch too. So yep, we do the same though.
No microbursts.
Yeah, this is not a microburst situation. That's totally different. That's something you see in the summer when it's real hot and dry outside. Oh, I'm ready to go fishing when you are, man. Just let me know. I love it. It's getting about that time of the year we want to go. So. All right. Well, time right now is 9:44, and the wind's going to be. Hey, this is another thing that's kind of being kind of swept under the rug. Is tomorrow, Cameron? Probably tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be incredibly windy. I mean, we're looking at wind gusts up over 50 miles per hour here. There could be some sporadic power outages, and there could be some big time fires in some places out west there. So. No, I just, again, Brittany, just have a way to get warnings. If one is popped up, pop on Facebook Live, or you will be on with it. And, you can see what's going on, but I don't think it's that's big. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, honestly. So.
Mississippi State.
Well, they do produce thunder. They do produce tornadoes over there, but they're the quick spin up. I can't tell you how many times I was in Jackson, Mississippi, covering severe weather, and we get those lines that would push through. And Oh, I'm on Facebook Live with. Oh, I'm not on Facebook Live with the mic. Yeah, you can do that. So.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm on the mic now. I'll turn that part off. So, but yeah, I can't tell you how many times we see those lines come through, and they would produce a little quick spin ups, and they usually weren't much to them.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good, man. I ain't worried about it. Rather have them than I had not.
Yeah.
I might need them.
Accident happening.
So the good news is I'm already dressed tonight, so I don't have to go get dressed. So You're welcome. Huh?
First time for everything, right?
Yep.
Need pre-workout. I got some good.
No, I don't need a pre-work. I could go get a monster drink and be fine. I don't need that stuff, though. Will this storm have the same energy that makes it to Dallas? I don't think so. I think, as a matter of fact, I think it could be weaker when it gets to Dallas. It looks like a lot of rain and wind to me. Destiny, I predict the line of storms to be here around 1:32 a.m. And line just kind of blast on through, and will be, it's mostly just some gusty winds there with it. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's going to be really windy tomorrow afternoon, Kyla. Nakona, about 3-4 a.m. is when that line should get there. Could be pretty rough there for a minute there. What's up, Victoria Ann? Yeah, there should be some thunderstorms over there into the Ford County area. Probably not too much further, pretty much longer from now. Let me look at the radar and see if I can pick up any of that. I never even showed a radar here to you guys. Yeah, I can already see the. There's already severe thunderstorm warnings along that line. Matter of fact, I'll show that to you real fast here. I'll show you the line. Let me pop you the line. Hello. Let me pop this on. Hello. Pop this off. All right. So as you can see, there's Eric Fox just walking across the green screen there. Look at there, Eric Fox, storm chaser extraordinaire there. But as you can see, there's that line of there's that line of storms pushing on through there. The western parts there, you can see the warnings already. That's mostly wind and some hail there. And, that's kind of what we're looking at least initially here with these thunderstorms, but that's really about it for right now. Has a watch been issued yet?
Yeah, tornado watch stuff.
All right, so let's see here. Let me go down here. So there's your tornado watch there. I don't those purples and reds, that's fire. Oh, there's fire weather stuff over that way. So, but there is your tornado watch that's issued there, and that would be for that line of storms pushing on through. So all of the area basically is in a tornado watch overnight tonight. This does not include the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. It goes down to about San Angelo and goes all the way up to the Kansas border. So pretty big tornado watch. So yeah. So here's Eric Fox with me now. Eric, what's your play here tonight?
East of your viewing area.
You're heading down to Dallas?
Yeah, I think honestly the story with this is going to be probably I'd say I-35 east along the Red River back in northeast Texas. Just looking at the parameters, there's some 0Z modeling that looks like it's going to be east of 35, maybe some prefrontal supercells.
Oh, I did see that over East Central Texas. I did see that. Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm going. I'm going to watch a cell that some of the short-term high-resolution models are really painting a supercell coming out of Abilene, going south of Bowie, up into Ardmore. And as it gets over to Ardmore and the Red River east, that's really, to me, going to be the most instability, the most
better ingredients.
Area. But it's going to be a long night, all night. The squall line, like you said, it's just going to mix to the ground with wind.
Are you going to be doing any chasing around here? Or are you just
I'm going to start here, especially between here and south. I'm not going to go west. Like we're seeing exactly what we thought was going to happen, which is going to be on that front. A wind threat, can't rule out an embedded little spin-up.
Right, yeah.
Outside of that, really, it's going to be, to me, Bowie in the east.
Yeah, probably,
Paris.
Yeah, I've been watching this one. There's one little cell down there that's been showing up, kind of coming up from Graham up to about Jacksboro, Bowie area that could be decent. So
that's kind of where I'm looking at. There's her and the V3, and now even some of the other cams of the SBC looks like it's really painting a stripe from east of Bowie up towards Gainesville and into Ardmore. That's kind of where we're looking. But on that watch, I did the mesoscale update that the SBC just put out. It said there's going to be a watch later on this evening. Off to the east.
Yeah, so Dallas isn't in that yet, but you will be by later on tonight. It's going to be later before it gets there. So they're not going to go ahead. They're not going to issue it for the Dallas area until then. So you will get under one. So it's coming.
But for here, it's a squall line, a lot of rain. A little bit of wind.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Do not worry.
Yeah. So if you got storm. This dude right here is chasing some of the worst tornadoes in the world. If he's saying that, don't worry, then you ain't got to worry, y'all. So, but we're going to watch it just in case.
Let's watch this guy.
There you go. That's right. All right, guys, we're jumping off here. I got to get ready for the newscast, but I will be on with you off and on throughout the night. Y'all have a good one and sleep good. Just have